What's up, you guys? We're going to eat and we're going to be responding to a video that I watched of another Muslim woman going through the emotions of finding out that her husband took on a second wife secretly. She found out on social media actually about him being married. Super crazy. The part that I'm going to respond to is going to be her explaining how her kids found out and how she's feeling about it, okay?
One of the things that bothered me the most in the beginning of finding out that my husband took another wife was the loss of control that I had over the things that was in my life, because it ran parallel to their lives. What I mean by that is it was my understanding that they wasn't going public with the fact that they were married.
But they did.
Yeah, they were going to wait. So I was thinking okay, well that's good, because that'll give me a chance for me and him to sit down and have that conversation with my kids and my sisters, the people that are that are close to me. And I'm thinking that we're just gonna have that moment that we can explain to them, and they'll or try to help them understand what's going on,
because that's the least that he could have done
by it. The problem with that is, and I don't know because I wasn't in their conversation or whatever the case may be, but he allowed her to change her name to his last name on social media, and he allowed her to post pictures and make comments on his pictures. And of course her comments are, my husband, she's Mrs. So-and-so and like that. And my kids were friends with him on social media. I have friends that are my friends and family, because it's social media, so everybody's we're all connected now. And I just felt
that's crazy,
disregarded and disrespected, because that's how my kids found out that he took another wife.
That's valid.
They
that's
actually
valid.
thought he was cheating, and when they brought it to me, then I had to be like, no, that's his wife. He Islamically married her, and it's just I understand that it's not my business when and how they go public, or how she's able to express her love or gratitude to Allah for bringing him back into her life. But at the same time, it does affect my life. It does affect me. I don't think he understood that part. And when I try to express
most of them don't.
Then again, I come off like being a bad guy, like I'm complaining.
Always.
I always have something to say, but it's I just felt disregarded. And so my advice to someone, if you are in that situation, just communicate, and it's going to be an uncomfortable conversation. And
biggest part of a relationship.
To make both wives happy, but you still have to try to figure out a way to have it peaceful and fluid, because to feel disregarded, to feel your feelings don't matter. I felt like my kids didn't matter, or even though they're grown and they understand life, but I still should have been afforded that chance to explain that to them.
What do you guys think about this story? Now, I know a lot of you who are not Muslim, and some of you who are Muslim may be like, what? Ain't no way. And y'all might think, no, he is cheating. Unfortunately, let me correct that. He is not cheating. The way he went about it, to me, was wrong. I won't say wrong. It wasn't the best way that he could have went about it. There's no way you can justify why your wife found out you were married on social media. You know how embarrassing that is? It's so embarrassing for a bunch of people around you to witness something before you knew it yourself, and you should have been one of the very first people to know. That is so disrespectful. And then you have to sit by and watch your family and friends come to you with questions about, is your husband cheating? All because you weren't afforded the opportunity to catch up and to fill in. So while it ain't nobody's business per se, it's my business. My feelings should be considered, and they weren't. They were absolutely not considered. And I love one aspect that she is trying to hold her composure and be fearful of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But at the same time, on the other breath, I'm like, babe, you can't run out your own feelings. It's like you pushing how you feel to the backside, even with you trying to hold on to, your taqwa as you should. But your feelings are valid, and holding him accountable, you can do that. We are not made to be little squeaks in a corner. Make sure you are subbed to the page. If you have not, it's free. It doesn't cost you a thing. Make sure you comment in the comment section. I would love to hear your thoughts. I'm going to meet y'all in the comments so we can chit chat and hash it out. Are you interested in hearing the full story? If so, after this, I'm going to be attaching the rest of the videos, her parts 1 through 3. It's actually parts 1 through 3B because she do 2 part 3s. So y'all can get the full scoop of what's going on. And, you know, let's talk about it. Y'all think the Muslim community don't have problems? I get this a lot, especially on my blogger page. People be, oh, you supposed to be this, you supposed to be that. We go through things just like anyone else. We are regular people. Our faith is just Islam. But we go through stuff just like y'all. And I know this is going to be probably complicated for some people to understand because the whole poly thing. But let's go ahead and get into it. I hope you guys enjoyed this clip. I'm going to also include her page information in the description box if you guys want to go check out if she decides to drop more parts to her story. And I also have a question. I want to know, does the husband know that she's dropping these clips? And like, is he going to have a problem? And what's going to happen when the other wife finds out about these clips? Because one thing for certain and two things for sure is social media always find the other party. So if she has a page and somebody is able to get into it, she has just one public post, it's going down.
Assalamu alaikum. Oh, don't come for me because my niqab is wrinkled. I just pulled it out of the closet to do a quick video. So I wanted to elaborate on some things that I said in the previous videos. And it's just easier to make a video than it is to respond to everybody individually. So it's probably going to be about 3 parts. I'll talk about how I met my husband, when he took another wife, and my interaction with her. Not going to be messy. I'm just going to state my opinions and my dealings with that. I'm just going to leave it at that. Definitely not going to be messy, though, because I don't want to eat her flesh on the day of judgment. But anyway, also, thank you to everybody who's given me feedback thus far. I appreciate it. Thank you for taking this journey with me. Hopefully, we learn and grow, and the end result will be better than the beginning struggle. I met my husband in September of 2020, and I didn't know him before that. We know a lot of the same people. He even knows my sisters, but I didn't know him because I lived in another state. We met in September with the intentions on getting married for the sake of Allah. December, we were engaged. We did the classes, and then we were married by May 1st of 2021. And that was a lot to get used to because, like I said, we didn't have that history of being together. And, you know, we've been together for so many years, and we decided let's finally get married. Like, we were strangers when we met, and we met for the sake of Allah and to be married and do it correctly. The first year we were great. It was at honeymoon phase, and then we kind of went into, like, we had a miscommunication that neither one of us cared to elaborate on or try to push through. So we just fell into, once I moved in with him, we just became like roommates who were married for the sake of Allah. We would try to, like, we would interact and talk where, like, we didn't talk for, you know, like a long time on the phone, or, you know, I wasn't rushing to see him or rushing home to see him, and he wasn't rushing. We was like roommates, basically, who were married for the sake of Allah, and we didn't have a lot of communication. So when he took another wife, the first thing or first emotion for me was I felt like he didn't care about his marriage to me, because it was like he just swapped it out for a different marriage. And the fact that he knew her and had a previous on and off relationship with her didn't help the situation or help my feelings. And I didn't find out until after they were married. Assalamu alaikum. So when I found out my husband had another wife, I was on my way into a doctor's appointment. We were on a video chat, and he had posted something on his social media, and it just rubbed me the wrong way from the door. Like, as soon as I seen it, it was a picture of a couple, and they were crowning a woman that was standing in the middle. And I just posted under that, like, you're not getting another wife. And his response was, this is not for social media. So when I had a chance to speak to him I was like, why would you say that? Like, what did you mean by that? Like, I was just trying to make a joke or whatever. He was like, because I have another wife. And I'm like, how? He's like, no, I have another wife. So I'm like, wallahi billah, you have another wife. He's like, yeah. And that's how I found out my husband had another wife. Like, there was no serious conversation. There was no, I need to talk to you. And then I felt blindsided by that. And then, like I said, this is somebody that he had a previous toxic off and on relationship, and this is from me getting this. That's how they described it. Each individually described it. So I'm not saying anything wrong in that. I'm not gonna go into the dynamics of that because that's not my relationship. That's not my situation. But in the beginning, it bothered me because I felt like we didn't have a past, so there was nothing to be like to hold on to or to think about to keep me there, if that makes sense, as opposed to you having this off and on relationship. So there's a history, there's emotions, there's feelings that's built in. But I had to realize that even though we didn't have a history, we started out with a purpose and we're building a future. So, and not only that, but like, I think how I can reconcile that a little bit for my own emotions is she asked him to marry her. And it's my understanding, it took a couple times over the years of her asking before he finally, decided that he was going to marry her. So if that history was as big as I made it in my mind, he would have went back for her and she wouldn't have came for him. I don't know if that makes sense to y'all, but that's how my heart and mind came to that conclusion to reconcile on that part. So, and then it was like, we're not communicating. Like, we're not good like how we was in that first year. So why would you go be with somebody else and now you're starting off happy and I'm feeling like I'm stuck and it's like, this is not going to work. You have to let me go. Assalamu alaikum. So even though I didn't like the situation, I reached out to her through my husband so that we could have a conversation and try to build our own relationship. So we talked on the phone. When I got off work that day, we met and we had lunch. Now, I had lunch with her with the intentions on building a relationship. I feel like she had lunch with me with the intentions on making me jealous and eventually pushing me out so that she would have our husband to herself. And I say that because she started telling me things that I didn't need to know. Like things that, supposedly occurred after I was married to him. And of course I took it to my husband because I want to know if this really happened, because we're not doing that. So then fast forward that Friday I went to Juma with her and she sent me a text and she was like, she doesn't want anybody to know that she's married yet. And I was like, I'm not here to expose you. I'm just, here to pray and build a relationship with you. Plus, I don't know anybody that goes to your masjid. I go to a different masjid. And she was like, yes, you do. The person who does your henna goes to this masjid. But I'm thinking about it like, how do you know who does my henna? We didn't have a henna conversation. I didn't have henna on. So I was like, oh, okay. You've been going through my social media. You've been through, so you see everything that I'm doing or what he's doing for me, whatever the case may be. Okay. So then after that, I want to say it was that we went to Juma Friday. So Saturday night was her night. So he was over there. And I'm, minding my business. I'm on Facebook. I'm on social media. And I happened to see, because we started following each other. So I happened to see a post that she made, something like when love comes back around or whatever. So I'm like, okay, that's what's up. But then I realized that she had posted a picture of them holding hands and it did something to me. I mean, I call it jealousy, call it whatever the case may be. It did something to me. I didn't like it to the point where I unfollowed her and I blocked her. So she sends me a text at 12 in the morning and she's like, 12 in the morning, mind you, it's 12 in the morning. You sending me a text talking about you went on my page to like a picture and you realize we're not following each other. Did you do something wrong? If you just got back with your husband that Allah brought back into your life, you should be focused on him. what picture of mine are you going to look for at 12 in the morning? No, you just wanted to be messy and see if I saw that picture and if it made me feel some type of way, added on to the things that you had already told me when we had lunch. So I'm like, it's going to be too long for me to say it in this video. So I'm just going to post the screenshots of that conversation in this post. So after that, we stopped speaking. And because I said what I said, then she started flooding her page with pictures of him and her, they soulmates, whatever the case may be. All right, whatever. So now we're going back and forth and we're ghostwriting each other's page. We're sending shots and making subliminal comments, and it's going back and forth, and it's getting ugly. It got to the point where our husband decided to put us in a group text so that we can basically get off our chest what we want to say to each other and not be like out exposed to the world while we're going through what we're going through. So we're going back and forth, and I'm telling her, like, I don't understand how you're jealous and causing problems in a situation that you asked to be a part of. So we're going back and forth, this, that, and the third. So it gets to the point where she invites me to fight. She invites me to the park to fight. And at first, I'm feeding it to her, like, I'll meet you, but I'm at work, whatever the case may be. Then I was like, I'm not about to do this. Like, first of all, I got too much to lose. So I basically said, like, I got too much to lose to be trying to fight you. I told her to fight her struggles and then come see me. And the response that she gave me, I'm just going to post it in a screenshot because it's going to be too long for this video. And we didn't speak after that. And even after she said what she said, I still tried to make amends with her, and it went left. I invited her to Jumar again. I invited her to Jumar this time with all of us so that we can go, and like, this is months later though, months later. And I invited her to Jumar. She came, but when she came, like, I'm upstairs taking my shoes off. She comes in, she gives me like a quick rush salam, and then she goes into the masala and she starts, does her 2 rakats. And I come in, and then she pulls out a book like she's reading. So your body language is telling me that you don't want to be bothered. So why would I try to sit with you? And then that became a problem because it's like, why would she invite? It's just a lot. It's messy. We are beyond the religion. We're beyond our husband. It's just 2 women who don't like each other, who go back and forth. So at this point, this is why I say he does an excellent job keeping us separate, because he knows that we are not ever going to be friends. I can never forgive what she said. And again, I posted it in the screenshot so you can read it or whatever the case may be, because what I'm saying, I understand that it's going to be based on my emotions, my feelings, how I feel about her, but I have receipts to show that you're messy, to show that you don't have good intentions towards me, never have, never will. So you stay on your side, I'm going to stay on my side, and I just have to figure out a way to stay in this situation. And this is why the struggle for me is as real as it is.
Now, it was 2 other screenshots along with this screenshot, but I can't find them. I don't know if she deleted them or whatever. And I thought I had screenshot them initially, but I didn't. So, yeah, if they do pop up, I'll post them like as just a regular post. But this is what the lady said to her. And for y'all to understand, this was the new wife talking to the current wife that's doing the videos.